Welcome to Least Political, and I'm your freedom of speech loving host, Annie Murray. Least Political is a place where we don't talk much about governance or issues. We pretty much just talked about the chicanery that is ripping our nation apart. Freedom of speech is very important. I am asserting that despite Trump constantly saying he is for free speech and transparency, well, please listen to Orange Jesus. He says it in ways I can't.
Here's my plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all, and corruption it is. First, I will immediately reissue my 2020 executive order restoring the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, and I will wield that power very aggressively.
Have you noticed? He never gives details, but assures you whatever or whoever is the corrupt one. No details needed. The most corrupt thing that has possibly ever been. But we don't know what, and we don't know how, and we never will.
Second, we will clean out all of the corrupt actors in our national security and intelligence apparatus, and there are plenty of them. The departments and agencies that have been weaponized will be completely overhauled so that faceless bureaucrats will never again be able to target and persecute conservatives, Christians, or the left's political enemies, which they're doing now at a level that nobody can believe even possible.
Holy cow, he wants to dismantle our system? That's not normal political stuff. He's saying he wants the left to be silent and the radical left. But do you know who is on the radical left? Anyone left of him, regardless of how conservative they are. It's just crazy talk. Freedom of speech.
Third, we will totally reform FISA courts, which are so corrupt that the judges seemingly do not care when they are lied to in warrant applications. So many judges have seen so many applications that they know were wrong, or at least they must have known. They do nothing about it. They're lied to.
Trump loved his judges. He appointed 234 during his time in the White House. Apparently, he felt very slighted when in almost every instance his cases have gone in front of Trump-appointed judges in conjunction with all these legal matters. They've ruled against him. Well, except for the judge in Florida, Eileen Cannon, who is absolutely corrupt. And she got spanked for her rulings by higher-up judges. She's pretty disgraceful.
Fourth, to expose the hoaxes and abuses of power that have been tearing our country apart, we will establish a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to declassify and publish all documents on deep state spying, censorship, and corruption. And there are plenty of them.
This is just bull feathers. Sorry, I curse like my grandma. It's unbelievable that our grifter-in-chief wants to focus on truth. Please note that it's his truth and Fox News truth and everyone on the right's truth with no regard for the actual facts and truth. Who does that? Does Russia do that? Do some countries in the Middle East do that? Do you really want to live in a country where that man tries to do those things to your fellow Americans? You can almost see the lies flying out of his mouth. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
Fifth, we will launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the fake news to deliberately weave false narratives and to subvert our government and our democracy. When possible, we will press criminal charges.
Obviously, he wants to take away anyone who could oversee his shenanigans and perhaps do something about it. This is scary stuff. Does this man look sane? Don't listen to me. Listen to him and decide it for yourself. Freedom of speech is real.
Sixth, we will make every Inspector General's office independent and physically separated from the departments they oversee so they do not become the protectors of the deep state. Seventh, I will ask Congress to establish an independent auditing system to continually monitor our intelligence agencies to ensure they are not spying on our citizens or running disinformation campaigns against the American people, or that they are not spying on someone's campaign like they spied on my campaign.
All he's doing is saying he wants to seek revenge against his enemies and then form a government that could never object to him. Is that the country you want to live in? I think everyone knows or secretly knows that this guy is guilty of almost everything they're accusing him of. Maybe you do like Trump, but what about the mental state he is now and what he wants to do? Is that really what you want?
Eighth, we will continue the effort launched by the Trump administration to move parts of the sprawling federal bureaucracy to new locations outside the Washington swamp. Just as I moved the Bureau of Land Management to Colorado, as many as 100,000 government positions could be moved out, and I mean immediately, of Washington to places filled with patriots who love America, and they really do love America.
Here he's saying that he wants to fire people from tens of thousands of jobs and give them to his MAGA fans in different parts of the country. He is going to take jobs away from anyone right of him and give them to the people that voted for him. Okay, just because they think he's odious. I personally think he's odious and orange, and that is really some really deep, dark, freaky shade of orange.
Ninth, I will work to ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs at the companies they deal with and that they regulate. So they deal with these companies and they regulate these companies, and then they want to take jobs from these companies. Doesn't work that way. Such a public display cannot go on, and it's taking place all the time, like with Big Pharma. Finally, I will push a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. This is how I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people and for the people. Thank you very much.
Oh, I love this one. What he's saying is that he wants to get Mitch McConnell out of the Senate. That would be his biggest Republican rival for power. Ironically, he's only younger than the 81-year-old Mitch McConnell by 5 years. And maybe age limits could be a good thing, but I'm pretty sure coming from Trump, it's all about vengeance and targeted to hurt people and to get back at them. He has said that here. Didn't you hear him? Donald Trump is his own worst enemy. Don't believe me. Listen to him and decide for yourself. And even if you personally like Donald Trump at this point, do you trust this orange man spewing all of this near a nuclear button? As always, subscribe, ring the bell for other notices, like. That would be wonderful. I'm so excited. I got 25 subscribers. Now I'm on the march in March for 30 subscribers. Lofty goals. And thank you, everyone who got this far. I really appreciate it.